Alright, so what are we putting on tonight? We're going to be adapting this, or trying, which is this Badland universal winch mount plate, to this bumper, which is a bumper.
Complete custom
for a ZJ, supposedly. So,
I'm on Facebook.
You can see, so right now, right there were side plates here, but the winch wouldn't fit, so these have been cut out, and then this, we're going to put the Badland plate right in here, is the plan. I don't know if we'll put it on top of that, or probably put it on top of that, and then weld it into the sides and put some supports, but yeah, that's the plan. We're going to try and make it work. Alright, so 2 1/4, or no, 2 1/8.
Yeah.
Is what we need to cut off of each side, and hopefully that won't be too much.
Yeah.
So 2 1/8.
Nose or whatever it's called.
So, do you want me to mark that other side too, or do you want to cut this one first? And then mark?
I guess it doesn't matter.
So let's measure the distance between these two, just to make sure. Do you want to hold that like right on the inside of that? So that's 31 3/16. So if we measure from that, the outside of that, 31, and this will also confirm that my measurements are right, and 3/16 should be right there. That looks like more than 2.5 inches, doesn't it?
It is.
It is way more than 2.5 inches.
Because it was about over the middle of this.
We were measuring from the outside, weren't we?
Probably.
So we should probably make sure we do that right. So that's 2. I'm going to slide it this way a little bit. I think it's pretty close to 3, so that's about 2.5. And that's, okay, 2 1/4. So 2 3/8. That's really close. Are you okay if it's not centered by 1/16 of an inch?
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to tell.
Alright, so let's try that. 2 3/8. Alright, so 3/8. 1, 2, 3/8. This looks okay back here. That's a little long.
One of these edges I can totally on side.
Yeah, this is coming up way out in the front. So that needs to be trimmed back a little. Not quite. Hitting.
Right here should one pivot point.
Getting there.
Yep. It'll fit in there like a glove, but if I push it, it's not gonna.
But can we get it out? We can pound it out, right? See?
Right, like a glove. A little too big of a gap.
Yeah, a little bit. But that's good, because now we're up against that in the front. That's what we wanted.
You know what? I think most of our strength's gonna be out of here.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be right here.
And welding as much
and
as we
right
can.
along this.
Right there.
And then along the bottom. Yeah, and along these ears.
But these are beefy.
Yeah.
That's about as much as.
And then I'll weld this along here too. That's going to be easy, because that's a nice gap to, you know, that bevel that actually is a great place to weld because it'll fill right in there. So we need to clean up all of that. Here, where's the paint marker? Let's mark where we need to take the paint off. Just so we know. We need to take off basically everything on this edge right here. And then right about from here, that way, all along that edge. That we already got. We know we need to take off the edges, so I'm not going to mark any of that. And then we'll go all along here too. We know that. But yeah, just take off all those edges. Yeah, I think that should do. All right, so that's how that's going to fit in there. I think it'll work. Should be good strength provided by these big supports, and then tie it all into there. We just need to figure out to cut a hole in the bumper because there's no hole for the fairlead. Something like that. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So what are you working on here?
So we're trying to cut out the rest of this fairlead access.
Okay.
It's not pretty, but the fairlead will cover it in front.
Yeah, exactly. You could cut 2 pieces off on either side to make it a box. That would give it a whole lot more power, or not power, strength. Not exactly straight.
Yeah,
that'll work.
it doesn't even matter if it's an angle or...
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. That's what I was saying. I wasn't asking.
Yeah, so just make another one. Is this piece big enough to cut it out of? Probably.
Yeah. That one's straight too, I think. I'm just looking at this. I'm using this for a straight edge.
It's totally not straight, I know.
Woo!
We'll see if your cut can be straighter than mine. That was pretty bad. It's totally... Oh, that's good. Yeah. That'll work. Yeah, I can make that work. Anyway, that side, not terrible. But don't look at this other side. Hey, look, don't look at that. No, don't, no, that doesn't, no, we don't need to see that. This one's okay. Whatever, I think it'll hold. So hopefully that'll add a little more strength to that platform. Because this platform here is where we're going to put the winch plate on and go across to these. It's going to be tied into these side pieces and then also welded onto this. But the main strength is going to come from being tied into here. But it doesn't hurt to have a little bit more support on this as well, because this, you know, I was afraid if these weren't tied down it would cause it, not cause it, but it could, you know, want to pull that up. So now with those tied in, I think that should be good. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Come on. It was sliding in earlier. Now it's like...
There we go. So are we ready to put this thing in now?
I think so.
I mean, I think that's tied in there pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to bolt it in, so that's going to hold it in there too. All right, well, I think we got it welded in there pretty good. You get another look at this thing. So we got the Harbor Freight, that's still hot, Harbor Freight winch plate that we cut down, and then we got it tied in to these side rails pretty good. There, inside, I'm not going to stick my hand in there because it's hot. And then it's tied into these, the front, the shackle mounts as well, up to this, across here. This thing, we reinforced this platform. When you got this, right, this thing had,
Tied up at
this
an
was
angle.
like this, yeah, at an angle, but we found out it wasn't wide enough to fit like a Badland's 12k winch on it, and that's what we're trying. So that's why this was cut out. So these were originally, this was tied up to here, but we took some of that metal and put it back down here.
I think this makes it a little beefier though.
Yeah, I think so too. So we got it tied into the strongest pieces basically, and I think, you know.
So we took someone's high school metal shop project for
Yeah.
$100, and then a winch plate for 50. 50 welding supplies, you know, gas and wire. That's not too bad.
Yeah. And hopefully it'll all hold together and not fall apart the first time we try and pull our winch on it. That'll be the true test. Now you got to get this thing fitted up on your
Yeah.
your
No,
Jeep,
I've
so
got
you
to
gotta
figure
cut your
some sort of
bumper out.
sandwich plate.
Yeah.
I still don't know. I think this fits on the inside,
Yeah.
so I think I can put a sandwich plate here,
Okay.
and then tie it into those recovery points. The
Yep.
holes for those on the bottom.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll see what happens next with it.